Hi GOR, this is practice lesson 4. So please try these problems before you watch the video. You're just going to use the video to check over to make sure you knew what you were doing. So in each of these, you're going to have to look for a key word. If there's a picture, then you're looking at the picture to understand how to set up the equation. You're going to be setting up an equation and solving for x. Sometimes you'll have to go back and you'll have to plug in to find out what an angle is or what a segment is. So in the first one, I have a linear pair. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. So you have to think in your head, what's a linear pair? So hopefully you have the number 180 in your head. A linear pair are two angles that add up to 180. So I'm going to take angle 1 and angle 2, and I'm going to add them up, and I'm going to set them equal to 180. So 5x plus 9 plus 3x plus 11 equals 180. Now I'm solving for x. These are like terms that are on the same side, so I'm just going to add them together. 5x plus 3x is 8x. 9 plus 11 is 20. I'm solving for x, so I'm going to subtract 20 because I want to get the x by itself. 180 minus 20 is 160, and then I divide by 8, and x equals 20. Now in this one, all I have to do is find x, so that's it, I'm done. Sometimes they might ask you to find the angle, so you'd have to go back and you would have to substitute. All right, number two, I have vertical angles. So if you need to, you go back and look in your notes and remind yourself what's true about vertical angles. Well, vertical angles are congruent to each other. So if angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, that means that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So I'm going to take 17x plus 1 and set it equal to 20x minus 14. Now these x's are on the opposite side, so I'm going to subtract the smaller one, and the only reason I really do that is to avoid having a negative. Sometimes you can avoid having a negative. I'm solving for x, so I'm going to add 14. Whatever I do to one side, I need to do to the other side. Divide by 3 because I'm solving for x, and x equals 5. Now in this particular problem, I want to find the measure of angle 2. So to find the measure of angle 2, I'm going to substitute 5 in for x. Well, angle 2 is 20x minus 14. So 20 times 5 minus 14 is 100. Oops. Minus 14, which is 86. Okay. Number 3, I have complementary angles. So I hope everybody has the number 90 in their head. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90. So if angle K and angle L are complementary, I'm going to take them and I'm going to add them and I'm going to set them equal to 90. Now you're going to solve, add up these like terms that are on the same side. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. 13x equals 91, and 91 divided by 13 is 7. Now this one they want me to find both angles. So angle K is 3 times 7 plus 3, and that's 21 plus 3 is 24. And angle L is 10 times 7 minus 4 is 70 minus 4, which is 66. And then you could do a little quick check. Is 24 and 66 equal to 90? Yes, it is. All right. Now 4 and 5 just have a picture. So we're looking at the picture. What's true about these angles? Well, those are vertical angles, and we know that vertical angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to set them equal to each other. 6x plus 7 equals 8x minus 17. So I subtract 6x from both sides. 7 equals 2x minus 17. I add 17. 2x equals 24. X equals 12. And then this one I just had to solve for x. Number 5, these two angles form a line. A line is 180 degrees. So that's an example of a linear pair. So I'm going to add these and set them equal to 180. So now you're going to take these like terms, 11x and 5x is 16x, negative 15 and negative 13 is negative 28. I'm going to solve for x, so I'll have to add 28 to both sides. and divide by 16. Of course, you're using a calculator for this. X equals 13. All right, and 6 and 7. So number 6, I have this symbol right here. That means perpendicular. Perpendicular angles form, perpendicular lines form right angles. So BD is perpendicular to AC. That makes this 90 degrees, and it also makes this down here 90 degrees. Angle CBD is 5x minus 42. Now CBD is this whole thing right here, is 5x minus 42. So CBD is a right angle. So I'm going to take 5x minus 42 and set it equal to 90 and solve. And I get a decimal, which is okay. I know sometimes you think when you get a decimal you made a mistake somewhere, but you did not. And you get 26.4. And 7's a little tricky. I'm going to draw a picture. Q is the midpoint of PR. So I'm going to draw a line segment called PR, and Q is the midpoint. That means it's the point in the middle. Q is the midpoint of PR. PQ equals 6x plus 25, and QR equals 16 minus 3x. Now a midpoint divides it in half. So that means PQ, the left half, is equal to QR, the right half. Okay, so the key word here is midpoint. It cuts that in half. So now I'm just going to solve. I'm going to add 3x. I'm going to subtract 25. And I get negative 9. And I get x equals negative 1. And they also wanted me to find the length of PR. So I have to go back and I have to substitute. So let me substitute and find PQ. 16 minus 3 times negative 1 is 16 plus 3, which is 19. That's PQ, but I actually want PR. PR is a whole thing. So if this side is 19, that makes this side 19. So PR is actually 38. 19 times 2. Okay, so make sure that you have done this, that you've checked it over. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Monday, and that you've also done your do now for the day, do now number 4.